What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What up? What up? What up? What's going on, friends and family? Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. I am excited to be with you here today. We got a great show lined up for you because you know that everything comes back to the money. Before I get into the show, let me ask y'all a question. How much are we winning? How much are we winning? I mean, the wins are like crazy right now. So much so to where I see everybody pivoting. You know how you know you're winning? You can always tell how much you're winning when you see everybody starts to pivot and change their format, change the way that they do their shows. You're starting to see different subject matter that's not even relative to what people were doing prior to them actually observing you and seeing what you're doing. And so I just see so much pivoting. I see so much adjustment. Now, doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do it, because as a content creator, you got to compete, because we know that it's dusty out here. The money is drying up on content creation and social media. People ain't getting that bag like they say that they are. It's tough out here for y'all. And so for everybody, and listen, I'm not even just talking about like smaller content creators, because I expect for them to do that. But I see the bigger content creators trying to pivot and adjust and taking the exact same format. They study in our style over here at the Millionaire Morning Show, and they are moving in a completely different direction. And I'm like, yo, I thought that they was doing something different. And then y'all be sending me this stuff inside of my email, and I be thinking to myself, whoa, where did that come from? How did they start doing that? Where they get that from? How they moving like that? And it's like, I see what you're doing. Listen, just give me a shout out. I can't stop you from doing it, neither would I want you to, because creators create. And so I'm always going to be innovative. This is what's been happening my whole life. Since I was a young guy, I've always seen people stealing and jocking my style. Next thing you know, I'm going to start seeing people wear Coogis. Next thing you know, we're going to start seeing people bring back Coogis and wearing Coogis again. You know how y'all was talking, like, oh, Anton, he old school. Now you're going to be rocking Coogis. Next thing you know, your format's going to be the same as mine. Come on, man. Come on, man. Throw me my props and tell me I'm innovative. Throw me my props and tell me that Detroit is on right now. Detroit is killing it. Detroit is killing it when it comes to the music. We killing it when it comes to innovation. And I'm holding it down on the content creation side, because ain't nobody putting on for Detroit like me. Ain't nobody putting on for the city like me. Shout out to Detroit. And it took my whole format Everybody wanted to talk about relationships. Now all of a sudden they want to talk about the news and money and the migrant crisis. Y'all ain't even got no money. How you gonna talk about money and you don't know nothing about money? Anyways, let's pivot. Let's continue to rock out. So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. The likes is always low, but I expect that from y'all because this is what black people do. They do not give likes. It is what it is. So all of my white people, all of my Mexicans, all of my Arabic people, Chaldeans, Asians, everybody except for black people, go ahead and hit the like for the YouTube algorithm because we know that black people don't start doing stuff until they start to see other people start to gentrify it. So I need for y'all to gentrify my show so that we can make sure we get the likes up for the YouTube algorithm. Shout out to my Caucasians. Shout out to all of my Africans. Shout out to my Londoners. Shout out to my Canadians. And then, all of the Americans want to start catching a wave. We know how it go. Go ahead. Let's get it popping. This is a different type of show. This is a different type of show over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. So let me give a shout out to Mike, that dude, over on Cash App for the early Cash App. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mike, that dude, rocking out. Let me give a couple more shout outs to the early Super Chatters. AD, what happened last night? Well, I want to get into what happened last night. I'm a professional, right? And so what professionals do is they take care of business. Now, I won't go into too many details, but I was scheduled to headline a panel, conversation, show, whatever, right? I was scheduled to headline this type of conversation here in Dallas. It's one of the main reasons why I'm here in Dallas. Now, I got some other business I got to take care of here in Dallas, whatever, right? And so, you know me, I always take care of business. I'm always early. I'm always on time. And I just didn't like how things seemed. I didn't like the I'm being careful with my words because I respect the people that put on the event and everything like that. But it's just like, you know how the culture is. You know how the culture is. It's just different. It don't operate the same way like it's supposed to. And so, me and my security, I got some different type of security. I ain't got that club security. I ain't got the people that be trying to floss out on Instagram or whatever like that. So me and my security, we black trucked up, we Escalade trucked up, and we doing, and we had to make an adjustment. So after waiting for like 2 hours, I didn't feel safe. And my security advised me, they said, listen, you can't be sitting out here in Dallas. I'm not going to keep having you sit out here in Dallas. I know you want to wait. I know you want to play it by ear. You can't keep sitting out here in Dallas and waiting for 2 hours just on the scene, seeing what's going to happen. And so we had to make an adjustment. We had to make a move. And so, I held up my end of the bargain. I took care of business, and we on top of things. And then my guys was like, yo, we got to move. We can't just keep having you sitting here out here like this and not taking care of business. You got to take care of business. And so I always listen to the people, that's the professionals and whatever they do. And whether it's content creators, and I listen to content creators, and the people that's on my team, they say, Anton, this is best. I let them do what they do. When it comes to corporate America, I listen to the professionals. If a developer is saying that this is the best way to do it, or this is the best user experience, I listen to them and I execute. And it's the same thing when it comes to being professional, when it comes to in-person activities and security. My number one goal is to execute, take care of business, and get home safely. I do not mess around. I do not play games. I don't wait. I don't go to after parties. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I am 100% about business. I'm a different type of black person. And so when I see things not playing out the way that it's not supposed to play out, we make an adjustment. We handle it professionally, and we keep going. And what I found out was I made the right decision, because then people started getting into a fight, and I heard it was people threatening to run up on stage and stuff like that. And man, I'm not that. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that foolishness. So I had to make a pivot. I had to make a move. Shout out to the promoter. Shout out to everybody that rock out. But I had to go ahead and take care of business. And so I'll just leave it at that. It played out the way that it was supposed to play out. When I found out what happened afterwards, and shout out to everybody that came out and kicked it with me. I met y'all outside. I kicked it with y'all. I appreciate y'all. But, oh my God. Hey, what's she doing in here, man? Get her up out of there. Get her up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Get her up out of there. Anyways, I had to make an adjustment, and shout out to the professionals. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for taking care of me, and shout out to my security, always making sure that they take care of me and traveling where I got to go and being about business. So, anyways, that's kind of the short story of what happened. Maybe I'll give y'all the behind the scenes if y'all come and kick it with me. But I got a new idea. So one of the things that I'm contemplating doing is I want to go on tour. But I want to do it my way. I want to do it the way that y'all experience it at the Patreon meetups. I've learned a lot about doing in-person live events. I've learned about, protocols and how to go about doing things. And I want to go on tour. Like, I want to do small venue tours, not venue. I want to do small capacity fireside chats, kicking it with y'all, maybe bring some of my friends out depending on what city that I'm in, and having real conversations about relationships and money and everything encompassing, kicking it with the people being one-on-one, and doing it that way. So I'm gonna plan a tour for next year, and I think I'm just touring all next year. All next year, I think I'm a tour. I think I want to go to close to all the major cities in all the states, and I think that I want to actually tour and link up with y'all in person, even outside of the Patreon meetups. Obviously, Patreon members, y'all gonna be able to get in free, but for everybody else, they're gonna have to pay for it. And I just want to tour all next year. I just want to tour. So I want to go to Toronto. I want to go to North Carolina, South Carolina. I want to go to Charlotte, Raleigh. I want to go to obviously, all the major cities, Miami. I want to go to Tampa, Houston. Ugh. Obviously, we got to tap into Atlanta. But I want to go to the Milwaukees, the Vegases. We did a Patreon meetup in Vegas, all up and down the West Coast. Obviously, New York, Philadelphia, DC, Jersey, maybe Atlantic City. We go down south and we pop up in Alabama, go to Huntsville, right? Hit up, what's my favorite city down south? Not Miami. God, I forgot what the name of it is. But I just want to tour. I just want to tour all next year. Arizona, Phoenix, Seattle, Portland. I just want to come and see y'all. I want to go I want to go to London. I want to go and kick it with y'all in Africa. And so I just want to come and tour. I want to come and kick it with y'all. So I can't wait to rock out with y'all. I'm going to plan that out. I'm going to work with my people, and we're going to have a real good conversation, and we're going to kick it in person, and we're going to do it Anton Daniels way. Anyways, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Wait a minute. The Patreon link ain't even pinned to the top of the chat. Wait a minute. I don't think the Patreon link is pinned to the top of the chat. We're not going to miss that. Let me make sure I take care of that real quick. Hold on. Now I'm going to read the super chats, and we're going to get into the show because we got a lot to cover today. Make sure I get that in the chat. Boom. Switch. So no shade to nobody else. I ain't got time for that. Only thing I care about is taking care of business, having a good time, and making sure that we add value into people's lives. All right. So make sure y'all get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Link to the Patreon is now pinned to the top of the chat. So make sure that y'all rock out with that. We appreciate you, Teach Hanley, and we're looking for sponsors. So anybody that want to sponsor me coming into the city, shout out to the big sponsors. Shout out to the people that got small businesses. Let's also make sure that the sponsors are business specific for that particular city so we can bring visibility to them. And send me an email, antondaniels413@gmail.com. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon and then tap into the Discord, which is linked to any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. All right. Let me read a couple of the super chats and then we're going to get it rocking with the show. So shout out to Danistar. I appreciate you, my friend, for rocking out with me for the 2-ball. Also, Persevere Data TV is in the building. Says, I put on for my city. I put on. Yo, shout out to Jeezy in the building. I appreciate you, Persevere Data TV. Lil Black Duck 2001 says, Sup, Anton, just letting you know that you weren't in my feed this morning. The powers may be, baby, throttling this channel. I don't worry about it. Everything that we doing is organic over here. You know what I'm saying? So if they rock out, they rock out with it. If they push the channel, if they give the notifications, then they do. If they don't, they don't. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to cook up. Because we're going to rock out based off of word of mouth. What's the best form of advertisement? Word of mouth. the best form of advertising is word of mouth. So as long as y'all sharing this with your friends and family, as long as y'all hitting a like for the algorithm, as long as y'all making sure that y'all let everybody else know that we rocking out on here and Facebook and then on Rumble, possibly tomorrow, we gonna run the numbers up anyway. So it really don't matter. I depend on the people. I don't depend on the algorithm. I depend on the people. I don't depend on the algorithm. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. Again, I'm gonna be reading super chats throughout the show. I don't require them. I don't ask for them, but I acknowledge them because I appreciate you guys supporting the platform. And without you, it would be no me. So let's start off with the ratchetness before we get into the righteousness. Let's go ratchetness before we get into righteousness. All right. Have y'all ever heard of this dude named Kenneth Petty? Have y'all ever heard of this dude named Kenneth Petty? Now, hopefully I'm saying his name right. And I would never talk about such a guy because he's not a content creator per se, as far as I know. And I absolutely don't necessarily care to talk about anything that's not related to the culture. But obviously, when it comes back to the money, we need to be having a conversation, right? So this guy's name is apparently Kenneth Petty, right? And Kenneth Petty is the first husband of Nicki Minaj. I say first husband because Nicki Minaj is obviously the famous person. She's the draw. And he's largely came up off the idea that he's married Nicki Minaj. Now, obviously, nobody would know who he is. And it doesn't diminish his value. It doesn't diminish who he is as a man as far as the fact that he's with Nicki Minaj. However, the thing that does diminish your value is the thing that you perpetuate and the things that we celebrate as our cultural norms when you then become a part of the spotlight, right? And so the same way that we hold women accountable for how it is that they then diminish the value of the person that they're attached to when it comes to the women and the men, we got to do the same thing, and we got to keep that same energy when it comes to the men and the women, right? I'm an equal accountability smoke giver, and so as a result, we have to bring this guy to the front of the congregation. Now, why should we bring him to the front of the congregation? Because we see a role reversal that is happening in society today, and largely it's coming from guys that are pretending that they're masculine just because they do like this in the camera. That's not masculinity. I'll see you outside, son. That don't mean shit to me, right? Real dudes that's moving in their confidence and in their masculinity, they don't have to give you no threats. They don't have to say nothing online. They don't have to necessarily name you. They ain't pulling up. They ain't doing. Listen, if you really gonna do something, then you wouldn't be online you know what I'm saying, doing like this with the camera on your hand. Yo, we outside. Me and the goons is gonna come and get you. We gonna pull up as a result of it. Yo, where you at? We outside. We outside. If you gonna do something, shout out to David Simpson. Shout out to David Simpson. Junior, I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. If you gonna do something, and maybe I'm just old school, why would I say that I'm gonna do something to you if I'm gonna do something to you so that it can come back to me as a result of it? Now, obviously, as a result of this visibility, because we would have never known who this guy was if he wasn't married to Nicki Minaj, because of this visibility, right? What's happened is people are starting to dig into his past. Now, obviously, we all are familiar with, or some of us are familiar with, that's intimately involved with the culture, that this guy has had charges brought against him for allegedly sex-related activities, and I don't know what that does, but they say that he can't stand in the school zone. They said that this man was threatening Offset, and he was threatening to pull up to the VMAs as though he would have got invited to the VMAs if he wasn't married to who he's married to. But instead of leveraging that and being a Stedman, he decided that he wants to be a petty. Instead of being a Stedman, he want to be a petty, right? And so he's threatening people and pulling up to the VMAs. They said all that Offset had to do was go and stand in the school zone, and he wouldn't have been able to come over there, right? And so instead of playing your role, instead of staying low, instead of being a little bit more, focused on how you're diminishing the light of the person that you attach to, you over there threatening another chick's husband that is more relevant to you, that is also attached to a person that is a huge content creator or a huge artist themselves, right? I've never seen megastar wives, right? The wives are bigger than the husbands, relatively, right? You can make a case for Cardi B and Offset. I would say that Cardi B is bigger than Offset, right? But I've never seen husbands fighting like cats when the wives is the more relevant topic. What in the world is going on in the culture today? Let me bring you guys up to speed. Again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. So, again, this is what's playing out in the culture, right? The petty dude, which is on the left, is threatening Offset, which is laughing at him, and he threatening to pull up to the VMAs. This is how this played out.
Nigga, I got a Brooklyn hoodie on. So they don't know where I'm from. They know where I'm from, though. They know I can't act like I'm big Queens, nigga.
Sturdy, nigga. What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
That's Nicki Minaj's husband right there. Millionaire House Husbands of Hollywood is on IG Live saying, what's poppin', man? Y'all gotta be laughing at this. Y'all have to be laughing at this, yo. Why aren't we shaming these people? Why are we not shaming these people? Why are we not holding them accountable and bringing them to the front of the congregation and saying that this is not who we are, this is not the culture that we celebrate, y'all look like some fools. Fools is out there. You married to a chick that's a megastar, and you out there looking like a whole fool saying, you know, we had Brooklyn in the house. This is what y'all real ones are like? This is the real ones? Let's see. Let me show you.
Money, man. What's up?
Yeah.
Where niggas at, man?
Yeah.
Huh?
You don't know
Big
niggas.
Zoom.
They said you don't know niggas. Big Zoom.
You're on that vacation. You're
Yeah.
planning your funeral, pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the street, nigga. Know everything, nigga.
Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah.
Let's play. What's up?
We'll meet you there,
Let's play.
nigga.
Let's get it.
Let us meet you there, nigga.
That's legendary.
So you let your homies, first of all, who are you hanging with? Man, listen, bro. If you the first husband of Nicki Minaj, you supposed to be playing. Bro, I don't know why y'all be so mad at Oprah, because Oprah gave y'all the blueprint on how to be side dudes or how to be house husbands. See, y'all not playing y'all role. You don't hear nothing. Stedman, you ain't seeing him get into an altercation. We don't even know if Stedman is still alive. We have no clue where Stedman is. How many of y'all actually know what Stedman looks like? How many of y'all actually know what is Stedman his first name or his last name? I have no clue. I've been hearing the name Stedman like a ghost for years. You don't see him getting out the car. You don't see him clout chasing. He ain't over in Brooklyn. We don't know. We don't even know what Stedman look. What do Stedman looks like? Let me Google Stedman. Stedman gave y'all the blueprint on how to play y'all roles correctly. There he is. I remember him now. That's Stedman. Look at Stedman. Stedman is out here playing his role, taking care of business. Look, Oprah and Stedman been rocking out since the 80s. Look at Stedman. They've been rocking out. Look at Stedman with all of that hair. That's Stedman right there. And look at him today. The only time you see Stedman pop up is at a gala. Stedman been rocking out for a long time. He was black haired, now he gray haired. And this is the people that's rocking. They didn't take the blueprint. They didn't look at Oprah. Ain't never been in no situation. Ain't never been in. We don't know nothing about. All Stedman doing is living his life, and chilling. He ain't got nothing to say. He ain't trying to come out here and overprotect the rescue. He ain't doing none of that. He probably in the crib like, girl, what is you doing? Come over here and get in this bed and take them clothes off. He living his best life, and y'all over here. Look, this is Nicki Minaj's husband right here.
That's the start.
Let's get it going, man.
We'll meet you on your vacation, nigga.
That's a fact.
I got Big Zoo outside. They wanted to come at me at the VMAs, man. We ain't even do nothing to nobody, man.
What's poppin', man? What's poppin',
nigga.
man? Nobody hiding around here, man.
Yeah,
We
outside.
We ready, nigga. All the way up and
We ain't ducking action, nigga. We ain't ducking action, nigga.
Big
We ain't ducking action, nigga.
Man, what's up, man?
Good money, man.
Run this shit, nigga. Keep playing with it, man. All y'all bitch niggas, man. Let's play, man. Y'all wanna play? It's all fun and games too. We wanna play too.
We outside.
Somebody tell Offset, cause Offset DM me. He DM me.
Come on, man.
Nigga
Fuck that
DM
nigga,
Cuckoo.
He off the
man.
set.
That whole gang could suck a dick,
Nigga,
nigga.
he off.
I got a question. Y'all can't think that it's that hard to be able to knock these chicks down. If this is the dude that she wind up marrying, a guy that can't even go into the school zone. Now, let me give y'all some more insight, right? A guy that can't even go into the school zone. Did you know that this dude was now placed on house arrest as a result of threatening Offset? Because they made a video saying that they was going to pull up to the VMAs and they was standing outside waiting for Offset. Like Offset is just going to come out the front door of the VMAs and be like, hey, what up, guys? These are y'all heroes. This is our cultural norm. This is 2023, year of our Lord. Nicki Minaj's husband is standing outside with a bunch of nobodies saying, You know it's a ghetto environment when they start making noises that you can't identify as a part of the animal kingdom. Yeah, we outside. Hey, oh. Man, shut that shit up, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of my church folk. God forgive me, bless me. Shout out to all of my daycare workers.
Off the set. Don't make us put you off the set, nigga.
You off I had you scared, boy.
Niggas off the
Up north,
set.
I had you scared, boy. A lot
Ah.
of y'all niggas. A lot of y'all niggas, man. Up top, y'all wasn't
Y'all
like
niggas
that,
checking in?
man.
At all.
Keep believing in these niggas.
Legendary.
Keep believing in these pussy ass
Y'all
niggas.
niggas checking in?
This is pussy, man.
Wow.
Super fast, nigga. Let's go, man.
Niggas
go,
been
man.
right here for man long, though.
Eh?
They say we dumb. We all dumb.
Yeah, super.
Fuck it.
We off this, man. Time for them clown ass niggas, man. Fuck out of here.
Offset, where you at? That's it. Gotta spin that shit. Them niggas out, nigga. There go Kanye, nigga. No, it's shut, man. No, it's shut, yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. Should the police profile them and pull them over? Or should they just keep walking and look at them and say, look at those guys in those black hoodies and that red hat, and they over there making all of those noises, those animal kingdom noises. And should we go over there and should we profile them in order to make sure that they're not causing a disturbance and looking to wait for somebody to come out that's never going to come out of the front door of the VMAs and wait for them? Let me ask you a question. Should the police profile these gentlemen and go and check their pockets and arrest them according to what it is that we see and observe, right? Because y'all keep telling me don't profile. Anton don't profile. Anton don't profile. Anton don't profile. I'm looking at criminals looking to perpetuate criminal activity, and just because he just so happens to be Nicki Minaj's husband, I'm supposed to look at it differently. They're making noises on streets, causing a disturbance and threatening citizens that are out there winning, making money, and doing things that's productive for society as far as providing for their household and their children. And they're walking around making noise.
Outside. Big Zoo outside, nigga.
They're licking their lips. They're showing their teeth. They have on hoodies. They're of a certain color and descent. And why should we not profile them accordingly?
Big Queens, right? Yeah.
Drop your low now, nigga. Drop your low now, nigga.
You got
Doing, man.
them niggas, all set them niggas acting like Niggas DM me.
Huh?
Yo, where you at? Where you at? Yeah.
We outside. We run this city, nigga. Don't let these niggas fool you. We run this city, nigga.
You see the addresses on the buildings, nigga. You see the plates on the cars, nigga.
What's up, man? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What y'all niggas talking about?
Yeah.
What the fuck y'all niggas talking about, man? Let's talk, man. Let's talk.
Out here.
No, we ain't talking. Pussy ass niggas.
What is all of these noises? This is what this is demonic. This is demonic. This is genuinely demonic of what I'm seeing right now. This is all demon noises. When you walk into an environment and you shout out to all of y'all in super chats, I'm gonna be reading those shortly. I'm catching them all. When you walk outside and if you go into an environment and you hear all of these noises, tell me that you're not going to start looking around you like, where is these demons crawling in and out of these holes from? Why are they making so many noises? That is demonic. This is nothing but spiritual warfare right here. There are demons that are taking over our youth and our grown folk, and they are causing a disturbance in our neighborhoods. What are they doing?
Who y'all think y'all playing with, man? Who y'all think y'all playing with? Sturdy, nigga. Sturdy, nigga.
All the way.
All the way about that
All
action.
the way.
Sturdy.
All the way.
Sturdy, nigga.
Stupid nigga.
Sturdy. Check the serial numbers, nigga. The sturdy,
Yeah.
Fuck y'all niggas talking about. All the way. Ain't nobody
Dummy.
around, nigga.
Yeah.
Trust me, we around, nigga.
And the money right.
Yeah.
The money right.
Yeah.
The money right,
I know
nigga.
the vibes,
Yeah.
man.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Niggas
sliding-
Stupid.
That's them? Oh, no, that ain't
that ain't them.
them. That ain't them.
Spin, nigga.
You know that.
Ain't nobody got a job. Ain't nobody got nowhere they need to be. Ain't nobody got kids that they got to take care of, mothers that you need to visit, Uber Eats that you got to deliver, floors that you need to clean, community college homework that you need to do. Nobody has anything productive than to be standing outside of a New York City street with your hoodie on, knowing that the temperature is dropping below 60 degrees. So it's cold outside. You can see the frost coming from your breath. You got on fitted caps, hoodies, dipset belt buckles, and dirty jeans. And y'all sitting here making noises outside of a productive venue where people are trying to enjoy themselves and look at the performances. Nobody got nothing else better to do than stand outside of a venue and grunt and make noises. Nobody. Nobody has nothing better to do.
When we out here, how long y'all want to be on us with us for us? How long you want to stay here, man?
Until y'all niggas come.
Hold on, how we add them niggas on there?
And then y'all wonder why these women be making these channels and these videos about us calling us bandits and stuff. Now I'm out here being a productive citizen, taking care of business, making sure that I'm a good father. And now y'all wonder why these women is out here making videos about us calling us bandits. Because you guys are the worst of the community, and we not shaming them and holding them accountable. We think this is cool.
Hey, man, you gonna tell them niggas, man?
Yeah, man.
How we add them niggas
Location,
on
man.
there?
So you gotta do, drop a location.
So one of y'all add them niggas and shit, you heard? Tell them niggas big suit, big queens outside, nigga.
Whole gang outside.
Tell them niggas.
Shine, nigga.
It's not a million niggas, nigga. It's just a sturdy stuff.
That's it.
Look, we right here.
We not mobbing, we hitting them.
Look, nigga, we here. What's going on?
I'm getting out the jet. What are you doing? D bro.
And Offset responded exactly how he was supposed to. I salute you. Offset, I salute you. Laugh at him. Go and jump on your jet. Go and see your girl. Go and do your next show. Go get your bag. Make sure that your kids is taken care of. Keep Cardi B knocked up. Keep having a whole bunch of kids. And have a good time and focus on your business. While they standing out there in New York in the cold, keep on laughing at these clowns and keep running it up. This is very, very disturbing as to what it is. And then you keep wondering why I keep saying that the culture is trash. It's because it is. And now, according to the news, right? According to what I'm reading, this is now the result. Now, when y'all did all of that grunting and you was standing in front of the venue and you was causing a disturbance, this is what's happening. Now, Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, Can't even go. Not only can he not go in the school zone, but he also can't go outside at all because he's on house arrest after threatening Offset on camera. He's on house arrest after threatening Offset on camera. According to the reports, right? A court reporter extraordinaire, Megan Kniff, pointed out Wednesday night that a federal judge in Los Angeles has ordered they don't even respect you. They call you Nicki Minaj's husband, who also goes by Zoo. Yo, what up, Zoo? Goes by the name Zoo, is a convicted sex offender to serve up to 120 days on home arrest. Now, you know what they're going to say? Well, this is profiling. The man is against us. It's systemic. It's racism. They don't want us to live. They don't want us to be out here. No, this is what it is that you guys continue to perpetuate, which is causing for them to identify the problem and try to address it accordingly. They're saving lives by keeping you in a house, which you should have been in anyway. You should have been out there doing just like T Grizzly. You should have been on a GTA server pretending to be a thug and out here robbing people on Grand Theft Auto. You should have been on a GTA server trying to figure out how you can bring some extra money into the household instead of out there grunting on New York City streets talking about we outside. You wasn't even supposed to be in New York. You were supposed to be in Los Angeles. Now you got to be on house arrest. He was recorded on video making threatening remarks towards a specific individual while in the company of someone with a criminal record. This recent violation conduct raises concern over Mr. Petty's willingness to comply with the court's orders, reads the order signed by the judge. Should have been in there playing video games. You outside grunting. Outside grunting. And still calling your name Zoo. Even the rappers that came up and it was Lil, they ain't even Lil no more. Eventually, they just removed him. Remember when it was Young Jeezy? He just Jeezy now. Lil Bow Wow, he just Bow. He even tried to change his name from Bow Wow over to Shad Moss. Nah, nigga, you still Bow Wow. Bow Wow. Wow, wow, bow. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to get over because we got to get away from the ratchetness and we got to go over to the righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to David Simpson Jr. says, Anton was bumping Ain't No Time Like Future and got up out of there. Hashtag protect the king. I'm going to protect myself. I'm always going to do the thing that's in my best interest. I listen to the people that surround me. GBG Bears in the building says, salute OG, hashtag break the algo. We going to run it up and break the algorithm regardless out here in these streets. We don't care nothing about no algorithm. Cliff Williams says, I'm going to do something. Ain't no announcements. Ain't no announcements. Shout out to Cliff. I appreciate you. Persevere Data TV says, these supposed to be the OGs? Out here causing a ruckus out here in these streets with these good folk trying to sleep at night. D. Johnson says, as a limo driver, I drove them both, and y'all don't know how he's so soft around her. While she calls him mother effer, do this and that, I thought he was the help at first. So y'all telling me that he get tough around his friends, but when he around his chick, he be nice and soft and he's submissive. Soft life. Shout out to Soft Life. D. Johnson, you a fool for that one. Cliff says, Anton, you ever seen a grown man piss himself? That's what they sound like at first. Then when ish get real, they get real quiet like mice, like church mice. Enforcer 2K9 says, why do Negroes have all of this smoke for other Negroes, but when it comes to white supremacy, the smoke fades away and we're victims? Where that energy? Ain't no energy. Because it ain't no such thing as supremacy in their lives. They ain't never experienced any form of supremacy except for the thing that's self-inflicted, the self-inflicted wounds. Jaquel PF with the 2 ball says, this is the new way to do mixtape battles. Wow. We don't even know what this man's talent is. What do he do? How does he make his money? Cliff Williams says, Anton, that chick is easy as 1, 2, 3. Anyone can hit it. Apparently. David Simpson Jr. says, you know we agree with the profiling ninjas. Yo, y'all know Anton is not making no kind of bones about it. Cliff Williams says, these are the punks that cause chaos for nothing. Brittany B says, Shin C says that y'all saying I need to make that a soundbite? We gonna work on that. Marriage, Politics, and Sports says they are standing with garbage. Y'all know that New York garbage that's outside where all of the rats run through? JC says Nicki could have got with one of them top R&B singers. Y'all telling me she should have got what Miguel and said? Blue Chip G says focus on winning, hashtag bag chasers. I appreciate you, Blue Chip G. Charles Anthony is in the building with the 10 ball. Says Charles Anthony Brown says signs of male midlife crisis, feeling a need for adventure and change, exhibiting signs of depression, questioning long-held beliefs, expressing anger and blame and straying from the marriage. Yo, shout out to you. That is the perfect description of what I've seen. Except we just need to go ahead and just say they're absolutely trash. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get over to the real issues that we see happening in our streets. Now, we got to bring Cam. We got to bring Cam to the front of the congregation. Now, a lot of you may be disillusioned as to why I call her Cam. Well, her name is Kamala Harris, but for sure, we're going to call her Cam. Because I know a rat when I see one. You can dress it up. You can act like it don't exist. You can put a suit on it. You can make it run for president. Listen, let me tell y'all something. We not that far away. In my lifetime, and not that far away, I'm 41 years old. Most presidents have a 1 or 2 year term, except for if y'all really don't understand why it is that they getting kicked out in the first place and they filed 91 charges against them. In Georgia, completely different conversation. In my lifetime, within the next 20 to 24 years, we will see a woman president. And it is strongly believed that that woman president is going to be a woman of color. We're going to have a brown or black president. Now, they may not necessarily identify as black, but I would bet my bottom dollar that in the next 2 decades, probably even shorter than that, we are going to see a female become president. And it is going to look like something like Cam. I'm not saying that she's going to become president because she's tied to the Biden administration and it seems like people are starting to wake up. But I believe in my lifetime, within the next 20 years, while I'm still alive, I'm going to live to see a woman, specifically probably a black woman, become president. I believe it. I declare it. I'm telling you now. I'm documenting this, and I'm going to put this as a cliff note to make sure that y'all remember that I said it. I believe that we are going to get a woman president. Listen, if women can take over and then do the things that they've done within the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years as far as making sure that they turn y'all households upside down and then redistribute wealth and continue to reconfigure what it is that we think is gender roles and whole culture and everything, what makes you think that we can't get one in office? It took us a couple centuries in order for us to get Obama in there, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to us. We're going to do it in a fraction of the time when it comes to the women. However, let's get back on point, right? Cam's main agenda when she became vice president and she declared herself to be a part of the Biden administration, right? But you know women, they like to say, we partners. I'm not under you, right? We're partners. So when she decided to partner with the Biden administration, her main goal and her main focus was supposed to be immigration, our borders, and the crisis with regard to migrants. That was her main focus. That was what she declared, and she said publicly that my main agenda as vice president of the United States of America, and that she almost cried and she did the fake tear thing. She said that she was going to solve for the migrant crisis and the problems and the immigration. I almost think that they brought her in there in order to take the fall. I'm going to shoot you a little bit of bail, Cam. I think that they brought her in. What's going on, Hassan? I think that they brought her in order to take the fall. I think that the black woman was brought into the administration because they knew that these borders was going to become a crisis. And you cannot tell me that they don't have the resources or the manpower or the ability to be able to solve for what it is that we see happening in our country today. I think that Cam is going to be the one to take the fall. Mark my words. Ain't nothing like a woman with coarse hair that's going to take that fall. I believe in my heart that Cam is going to be the scapegoat for what is happening over here on this border crisis. Ain't got nothing to do with Biden. Got everything to do with Cam. She's the one that said that this was going to be her main agenda. They probably gave it to her. They knew what the agenda was. We all know that the pieces are starting to come together as far as Anton putting the puzzles in place, right? I believe that Cam is going to be the one to take the fall for this whole border thing. I didn't say nothing. I just want to get back to the money. I didn't say nothing. I just want to get back to the money. So let me show you what's going on over in El Paso, over in Texas, one of our favorite states.
America's border crisis has reached a breaking point with more than 45,000 migrants attempting to cross into the country from Mexico in just the past 5 days. With numbers soaring and shelters at capacity, the mayor in one border town in Texas has declared a state of emergency. As our US correspondent Catherine Firkin reports, even cities such as New York are becoming overwhelmed.
This is desperation on a massive scale.
Y'all see that happening out there? First, let me give an acknowledgement to Tribal Roots and everybody that's contributed into the platform as far as Super Chats. I appreciate y'all, and I'm definitely going to be reading Super Chats right after this story. Thank you, guys. Let's continue. Look at all of those people. So as you see cars going down the highway on the United States side, on the other side, you see people lined up, walking across the wall to look for an opening for where the border opens so that they can just walk right into it, because they was already aware of the news. They got smartphones, they got data plans, they paying attention to what's going on. Their friends is telling them, hey, come over to Chicago and New York. They're going to let us go in Phoenix. They're going to let us go over at El Paso. We're going to cross right here. There's literally, it looks like ants out there. Ants out there are walking across the border. They're walking along the border looking for a hole in the fence to where they can just walk right in because they know that they're going to be let in. It's not even a problem anymore.
You are at a crisis level here.
I would say yes.
Today alone, almost 5,000 migrants.
You see your cousins? Hold on, let me show you your cousins. What's up, cousin? Hey, cousin.
And migrants attempting the treacherous Mexico-Texas border crossing. Shelters like this one in El Paso are buckling.
We're seeing anywhere from 40 to 60 new faces per day.
The border town of Eagle Pass now under an emergency declaration and confronting scenes in Arizona where hundreds of migrants are being held in makeshift cages.
One meal for your children per day. Una comida al día por los niños, para los niños.
Like Angie Ortiz and her 2 children, many of the migrants are coming from Venezuela, risking their lives by crossing the Darien Gap, a notoriously dangerous stretch of jungle between Colombia and...
Did you see all of those people? Hold on, let me rewind it for you. I want you to be aware. This is what's coming into the border every single day. Estimated close to 45,000 people. This is what's coming into your United States of America every day. Estimated to be close to 45,000 people in mass droves walking over. No problem whatsoever. You got 1, 2, 3 border agents trying to stop these people from walking over here, and they being civilized because they know they getting in. They not trying to mob in. They not trying to sneak in no more. It ain't no convoy. They coming in from Venezuela, Africa, Asia, Mexico, everywhere that they can find. They just walking right in, and there's no stopping them whatsoever. Unvetted, don't know who they are. No papers, no background checks, no nothing. They just walking over, and they not even in a crisis no more. They just walking right on in. Not a problem.
Between Colombia and Panama. Despite the danger, the numbers are soaring. Apprehensions at the border topping more than 8,000 a day. Overwhelming.
Apprehensions at the border are topping over 8,000 a day. That's just the people that's getting caught. That's people that's just coming in and getting caught. That's apprehensions. That's the people that they putting in the cages. Over 8,000 a day.
Texas facilities and causing a ripple effect in many of America's big cities.
President Joe Biden is here in New York right now for the United Nations General Assembly, but he's refusing to tour migrant facilities here or even discuss the crisis with the city's mayor.
New York don't deserve this. The asylum seekers don't deserve this. And so while he's here, I think that they should really reflect on...
Let me ask y'all a question. What makes somebody an asylum seeker? What makes somebody an asylum seeker? Just curious. What designates you as an illegal immigrant versus an asylum seeker? You know how we like to play on words? We like to give different pronouns. We like to misidentify things or change it over to being something completely different from what it originally was. What makes somebody an asylum seeker? Just curious.
New York City has done this part.
Financially, it's putting the Big Apple under strain. More than $3 billion spent so far to look after the busloads that keep arriving.
Immigrants are not safe here.
It's also dividing the city's neighbourhoods.
Look at this particular facility and you have 300 migrants, and if you look at a town.
Let me tell you something, good blue-eyed, blonde-haired white man from the mountains of Caucasus. Let me tell you something, sir. Your ancestors would be rolling over in their graves right now if they seen what was happening. You know how hard of a trek they had to make on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, or whatever the heck they was that they taught us in school? Your ancestors would be rolling over in their graves right now based off of what it is that they see happening today. You good, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, strong-jawed, probably served in the military, mountains from Caucasus, man of you, your ancestors would be pissed at what y'all see happening today. Y'all fought so hard in order to take over this country, and then y'all put the word founded on it. Founded. Built some statues for yourselves, and now all of these people is tearing y'all statues down and replacing it with LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Colin Kaepernick. They all got statues now. They replaced your statues of your heroes with LeBron James. Your ancestors would be rolling over in your grave right now if they seen what was happening in America.
10 block raises, you're lucky if you have 300 residents, so that's overwhelming.
But from one caught in the middle of this humanitarian crisis.
You're saying use your heart and think about what it's like to not be able to feed your children.
A heartfelt appeal.
They just having children, can't feed them, bringing them over here, and y'all gonna give billions and billions of dollars in order to make sure that they taken care of. I got you.
Catherine Firkin for 10 News First, New York.
Let's switch it over real quick. Let me give y'all a different perspective of what's happening.
The surge of migrants picks up here in Eagle Pass, Texas. How many arrived this morning and what Mexico is now doing, trying to hold them back. It was pretty quiet here in Eagle Pass, Texas yesterday. In fact, the Maverick County Sheriff thought Mexican officials were helping to hold the surge back.
They're helping us with the other side.
Today, it was a different story, as more than 4,000 people, according to state sources, crossed the Rio Grande. Not a surprise to Schmerber or anyone here.
It's going to happen again. It's been happening over and over.
We might as well just build roads. Hey, build roads, make sure that they got water fountains along the way. We can go ahead and get, the humanitarian organizations to go over there and give food. Just go ahead and just build roads and just invite them on in. Go ahead and make some concrete roads, ensure that they get here safely with good passage, and then we got some hotels for you guys when you get here too.
I went over for the last 2 years, and I don't see an ending right now.
Sources with Panama Immigration last week told us they were getting between 4,000 and 6,000 migrants a day coming from Colombia through the Darien jungle on the way to the U.S. Today, we spoke to the Panamanian consul to Houston, Jaime Sosa, who says the migrants here in Eagle Pass, Texas, are not a problem created by Panama.
It's a hemisphere crisis, and other countries have to come up with help and answers. Not just Panama. Panama has inherited a problem that it was not caused by Panama.
So what is the state of Texas now doing with a problem that belongs to the federal government?
We came up with a strategy and a plan. The mayor was willing to execute a criminal trespass affidavit.
State Representative Eddie Morales, who's also the city attorney for Eagle Pass, says by doing this, the city is giving control of this area to the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Hopefully the effect will be that message will then resonate with the rest of the migrants that are in Mexico still or in Latin America.
These people made a trek from the jungle They walked through the jungle in order to get here. You think that they care about what it is that you think? You think that they really give a piss about what you think?
The president is granting temporary legal status to nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants who are already in this country.
Wait. Let's revise what we just heard there. The president has already granted legal status. Your eyes doth not deceive you. This is a story that was literally released less than 24 hours ago. Your president has granted legal status to over 500,000 unvetted migrants that has come over into the country seeking alleged refuge that we know not where they're getting their refugee status from. The president has already, while he's in New York right now, meeting with the United Nations, has granted legal status to over 500,000 people that has already walked into the country. This is not some back news website. This is not, you know what I'm saying, Boo-Boo the Fool. This ain't none of that. This is literally Good Morning America with Gail, Oprah's friend, talking about it, having a conversation about how your president has granted legal status to over 500,000 migrants that has crossed over into the country illegally.
Now, this could be life-changing for those families looking to work and make money here legally. The move comes as the number of border crossings returns to near record levels. Federal officials closed the point of entry in Eagle Pass, Texas, just yesterday due to a glut of asylum requests. Manuel Bojorquez is in El Paso, where officials are seeing more than 1,800 migrants a day. Manuel, that sounds like a lot of people. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gail. As you know, local leaders here in El Paso are veterans when it comes to providing food and shelter to those who have newly arrived. But once again, some of those organizers are telling me they are being pushed to the brink. You are at a crisis level here.
I would say yes.
John Martin is deputy director of the shelter in El Paso. He says the inflow of migrants has been increasing for weeks.
Listen. What more do we need to show you? What more do we need to show you? In one shot, one fell swoop. One shot, one fell swoop. Y'all not concerned yet? You will be. You know why you're not concerned yet? Because it's not yet at your doorstep. You're not feeling it the same way that they feeling it over in New York and Chicago yet. You haven't seen it yet. Shout out to the UAW. You're bargaining. Manuel and Santa Maria, that's sitting there inside of that shelter that just got legal status. Guess who's gonna be working on them lines? Guess who's gonna be happy to take that $17 to $32 an hour? You know, all them jobs that y'all don't want? DoorDash, Uber Eats. Remember you wanted reparations? Oh, you're going to get it. You're going to get your reparations. You're going to get everything that you thought that you wanted. You're going to get everything that you thought that you wanted. You know, all of these jobs that y'all don't want, everything that's happening. Guess who's going to become a part of the tax base? Guess who's going to be living in all of these houses that I'm about to build? I'm going to sell it to them too. Oh, yes, I'm going to sell it to them. I'm going to get all of my money. I'm getting my bank's money. I'm getting their money. And then I'm going to build even more houses. And I'm going to house them. And listen, if they're going to grant them legal status and they're going to be paying taxes, they're going to be paying me rent. Oh, yes, and they're going to pay on time. Marquez, Manuel, Maria, all of them, Venezuela, all of them people that's coming in on the train, guess who's going to be paying rent to Anton from AntonDaniels.com? And they're going to go to work every single day. They're going to go to work every day, and they're going to become a part of the American dream. And then 2 generations from now, they're going to be running for president. Don't get mad at me. I'm a capitalist. Don't get mad at me. I didn't grant them the status. I voted the other way. I said that we needed to build the wall and add more border agents and we needed to control what was going on our borders. Now you want to get mad at me for capitalizing off of ain't nothing else to do but to make money. What else is there to do but to make money? You can either go and have some sex and have kids or you can go and make money. Which one you want? I got a vasectomy, so all I'm going to do is go and make some money. Jamal Fowler is in the building, says, Anton, tell people to get the likes up or go to, you say you want to go to the Teach? You say you want to feel the Teach? You know, I got a Teach commercial on deck. Don't worry about it. Give me 1 second. Y'all want to go to the Teach or you want to get the likes up? You know I got hold on. You want to go to Teach?
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com.
You want to get the likes up or you want to go over to the Teach? Make sure you get that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Thank you for reminding me, my friend. Tribal Roots. Let me give Tribal Roots a drum roll. Tribal Roots, I appreciate you for holding me down. Thank you for the 50 ball. Without you guys, there is no me. Thank you for all of the people that is supporting the platform and holding. We got over 1,700 people in here right now and going up. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, Tribal Roots. You are absolutely, positively well appreciated, my friend. Blue Chip G is in the building. Says, I see you drinking that moonshine. Looks like water to me, though. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, Tribal G. Blue Chip G in the building. Forbidden Media says, what up, though, Anton? I need your email. I got to connect with you about something important. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com is what it is that we rocking with out here over on the Anton Daniels channel. That is my email if you guys want to do business with me. I do not do business on Instagram, all of these fake accounts, none of that. I do business through email only. QBZ is in the building, says, pay attention, people, watch how high rents rise because of how much more demand there will be because of the border. Only going to get more expensive. And we over here at the Bag Chasers, shout out to the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat are going to be the ones that's running it up. Shout out to you. Jaquel is in the building, says they're showing the Spanish, not the Mideastmen, in droves. It would be mass hysteria if televised what appears as 9/11 terrorists, #got receipt. Shout out to you, Jaquel. I appreciate you, my friend. Executive Suite MLE, my dog, what's up to my dog, is in the building, says, remember when Cam said, don't come? These are new Democrats coming across because they know that they're slowly losing the black vote. Shout out to Executive Suite MLE. Jeremy H says, and let me add a little context. She didn't say don't come because we don't want you here in the United States of America. She said don't come because it's too dangerous where you guys are crossing. That's specifically what she said. Shout out to Jeremy H. Says, this is crap. Have foreign friends in college who have since started companies here employing Americans that still have renewed their visa. Thank you, my friend, for continuing to contribute into the platform and for your voice. Cliff Williams says, Massa, go build that car. Carlos, senor. Kevin Robinson Jr. says, what used to cost me $50,000 in real estate rehab is about to cost me $10,000 when I hire all of these migrants. God bless America. That may be a good. Hey, let me go ahead and get me a caravan and get a. Let me be quiet. Anyways, David Simpson is in a building with the 20 ball. Says, built the wall, one of several concept walls Trump had on display. Policy changes at the whims of Fields walls don't. With that said, only policy will fix this problem. Constitutional amendment? I don't know. We got to have that. Mr. Maximus says, where the migrant women at? Won't need a passport. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We got to bring our black women to the front of the congregation. I feel like black men have been taking L's for a long time now. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson over in Chicago. Today, on September 21st, 2023, you receive a reprieve. You will get temporary legal status on the Millionaire Morning Show. Temporary, because we got another Illinois mayor that we got to bring to the front of the congregation. Eric Adams, you will get temporary asylum here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Temporary. I have no idea what it is that I'm going to talk about tomorrow unless another black woman will take y'all place, because black men have been catching L's for several weeks now. I've been bringing them to the front of the congregation. So I don't want to hear no complaints that Anton does not keep it equal across the board. If you do something egregious or you're a bad person when it comes to how you're legislating our states and you're messing up the money, we're going to have a conversation. But black women, it's your turn, boo. Any of y'all know who this woman is at the bottom of my screen? I'm going to take a guess and say that you don't. I'm going to take a guess and say that you don't. You guys are not familiar with this girl that got her hair done, makeup done, everything. Hair done, everything big. Hair done, everything. Oh, you fancy girl. Oh, you fancy girl. Oh, you fancy girl. Oh, you fancy girl. Hair done, nails done, everything big. Hair done, nails done, everything. That's that Drake. You know Drake's first album, Thank Me Later. Swiss Beats was on the beat. A lot of y'all not familiar with that. That was way before your time. Way before y'all time. That was around the mixtape era. Wheezy, No Ceilings, all of that type of stuff. Don't worry about it. If you are not familiar with this woman, I am going to then bring you up to speed of who she is, right? This woman is a small town mayor of people around 20,000 people. But she makes over $250,000 per year. And guess what the people are mad about? Don't worry. Let me go ahead and bring it up to you guys. Thank you guys for sending this to my email, because otherwise I wouldn't have known anything about it.
Can the Dalton Police Department afford to have this many officers attached to her detail?
We can. We really need them patrolling the streets.
So she's the part-time mayor of a South suburban village of a little more than 20,000 people.
Yet residents of Dalton are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to provide security for their self-proclaimed super mayor.
Listen. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. There's the reason that this show is called Superpowers is our self-proclaimed, and you know people love to get themselves some titles, self-proclaimed super mayor is running the city. Black woman in here taking over the city, 20,000 residents, and she getting the bag and she bringing her friends with her. Let's talk about it.
Tonight, Fox 32 investigates Tiffany Henyard's security detail and the massive amount of overtime it is generating for a handful of officers. Our Dane Placco has more.
Hey guys, it's the Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard, the People's Mayor and People's Supervisor.
Tiffany Henyard makes nearly $250,000 a year serving as both mayor of Dalton and Thornton Township supervisor.
Hold on. Shout out to my black queens that's out here holding multiple positions. She said, listen, I'm the mayor, I'm the supervisor, I'm the city council, I'm the treasurer. This is a dictatorship. This is not a democracy. I am everything to everybody. I am the super mayor. I ain't never heard no junk like this before in my life. Listen, I've been studying and watching politics and seeing where the money go for a long time. I have never seen a woman that has a poster and is running every position in the town of 20,000, making over $250,000 a year, and also got a birthday poster up. That is the same poster that you see when people be trying to celebrate their birthday. Such and such's birthday coming. It's gonna be a turn up. Listen, this chick got a poster and it got congratulations on making history. Tiffany A. Henyard, Thornton Township supervisor and mayor, and everything else that come along with it. Oh, man. Oh, I got to get her on the Millionaire Morning Show. I got to get her on the couch. We got to fly her up to Detroit, or maybe we can fly down to wherever it is. Oh, that's over right outside of Illinois. That's right up the street. That's right up the street. Yeah, we can have that conversation. I want to interview her. Hey, somebody get Tiffany Henyard on the phone and let me kick it with her and see if we can get some insight on how it was that she was able to perform this. But this is not even a thing that people are complaining about. Check it out. Check it out. They're not just complaining about the fact that she is super mayor. They're complaining about much, much more. Let's deep dive.
An elected political double dip. She's charismatic and controversial.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City.
God. I gotta send this one to Angry Man. I gotta get my dog Angry Man on this one. I gotta get my dog Angry Man on this one. I don't even know if he's available right now. This. I got it. We gotta get Angry Man on this one.
Yo,
Angry Man, I'm on the live right now, bro.
what's going on, bro?
Dog, I gotta send you this lady, bro. This lady over in outside of Illinois. She the mayor and the township supervisor. She make over $250,000. She running up the bag on security, and she operating it like Wesley Snipes from New Jack City, bro. She started her meetings. Dog, you got to see this one, bro.
Word.
You gonna get a bag on this one, bro. I gotta send this one to you. As soon as I get off the live, I'm sending it to you, bro.
Yes, send it to me.
I'm gonna call you when I get off the live, bro.
All right, man.
Angry Man gonna go crazy on this one, bro. AM is gonna go crazy on this one, man.
She is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City. Later, punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
Oh my God. Yo, what is happening over in these streets, bro? Oh my God, this can't be real. No, I didn't know that all of this was going to be in the video when y'all sent this to me in my email. No way. No way is this in the video. Hold on. I just got to play it straight out. Let me start back and let me just play it straight out, bro.
Is both mayor of Dalton and Thornton Township supervisor, an elected political double dip. She's charismatic and controversial.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Here she is starting a Dalton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City. Later, punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ.
And it's hard to turn anywhere in Dalton without seeing Henyard's picture, or online, where she recently commemorated 9/11 with her own photo. I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
But when we asked Henyard a few months ago about her use of tax dollars, she was quickly hustled out of the room by armed security. And on Facebook, in videos posted by Henyard herself, we see her being driven around and surrounded by Dalton officers, which got us to wondering, why all the cops?
We weren't opposed to her having the security detail. We asked how long and how often.
Dalton trustee Brittany Norwood says Henyard began assembling her details shortly after being elected in 2021.
Yo, what the hell is happening over in Dalton? Debt Free Dad, I'm going to be reading the super chat shortly. I am so amazed that we got people running the city like y'all running, what is this, a hair shop? Dog, this is impossible. What country do I live in? Somebody said, what in the Tubi movie is this? Yo, I can't understand. Yo, they taking y'all tax dollars and they running it up like it's a movie. She got posters of herself on every corner out here in these streets over in Dalton. I'm about to go to Dalton. How far away is Dalton? How far away is Dalton? I am very curious as to what the hell is happening out here in these streets.
Using hand-picked Dalton police officers. Using a Freedom of Information request, we obtained the work records for 6 of the officers assigned to Henyard's security detail at various times and showed them to some of Dalton's trustees.
This is a Freedom of Information request we did to see how much overtime these officers are making on her security detail.
Oh, wow. 162 hours.
162. Oh, that's nothing. What goes through your mind when you see these numbers?
How many hours is in a week? Hold on. Hours in a week. It's only 168 hours in a week. Hold on, wait. How do you have 162 hours in overtime, but it's only a, hold on, wait a minute. If it's 168 hours in a week, how did you work 162 of them? So you telling me you only slept for 1 day every day or 1 hour every day? It's 168 hours in a week. How do you hit 162 hours? What?
It's disappointing, it's frustrating.
The officers are paid every 2 weeks, which without overtime is 80 hours. But when they're put on Henyard's detail, that 80 hours balloons to well over 100 hours, sometimes 200 hours. And in the
You getting 200 hours of overtime? 200 hours of overtime every pay period? Or you working, no, you getting 160 hours of overtime. So you get 40, Jesus Christ. Let me be fair. Let me use my C student mental math right now. 80 hours, which is 40 hours a week, every 2 weeks. And you getting 120 extra hours of overtime? Wow. Wow. You getting over 120 hours of overtime every week? Everybody busting down the bag over there in Dalton. Shout out to y'all for over there running up the bag and running up everybody's light bill and water bill and turning up the property taxes and running that shit like the Carter. I'm sorry. Let me fix my mouth. Strike that from the record. They running Dalton like the Carter over there. No drug dealing. Listen, politics is the new finesse. Y'all ain't know? You ain't know? If they could do it over there in New York and they could do it over there in Chicago, why you think they can't redirect and get all of that bag and all of that overtime over here? I bet you it's a cousin of a cousin. Somebody probably owes somebody some money. Hey man, come get this money. Come get this money. Politics is the new finesse. That's the new scam culture. You ain't know? Watch. Over the next 4 years, black people gonna really start catching on. She ain't gonna be the first and she ain't gonna be the last. Politics is the new finesse. You can get everybody a bag. Everybody can become a part of your security detail. You can start to redirect contracts. You can start to send money this way. This person gonna put in a fake bid, but you gonna pretend like you're going through the bidding process, and then it's gonna get awarded over there. Do y'all know why we have multiple layers of government, even on a local level? When you got the mayor, then you got the city council. I was talking to Eric Mays, the Flint city council member. He said, listen, it's not even just about the mayor. It's about the city council. The city council is who directing, who's spending all of the money. But if you have a smaller town, then you can control the majority of the resources, and she's holding multiple different positions. If you're not putting this together, and this is my first time seeing this, listen, you can't be in a space where somebody is getting 120 hours of overtime, 60 hours of overtime. They getting 100 hours a week every single week. Anything over 40 hours is overtime. And they running that bag up and they don't even have to do nothing but stand next to you. Why you think all of them black men running around her and acting like they care? Politics is the new finesse. See, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all of them, they've been getting rich for years. They just been doing it a little bit. You know, we gonna go in there and we gonna mess up the bag. We're gonna go in there and we gonna make a spectacle. Now they gotta dress up like Wesley Snipes in New Jack City. And they're going to be playing Rihanna and drawing attention to herself. And everybody going to be getting mad. They're not doing this stuff. See, Chuck and them, they doing it a little bit different. Nancy, AOC, they learned the game from all of their friends in there. Shaquana in here, she going to go in here and tear down the city. It's only 20,000 people. And ain't that much in property taxes. And she going to run up the bag and she ain't caring nothing about the budget. She said, we making history, baby. We making history, baby. Listen, politics is going to be the new finesse for black people. Watch, mark my words. Mark my words.
The case of Officer Terry Young last May, 303 hours worked over a 2-week period. That result.
That's 150 hours a week. It's 150 hours a week. It's only 168 hours in a week. That's over 150 hours in a week.
resulted in a single paycheck of more than $13,000.
How? How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible. That's impossible.
336
Does he never
hours.
go to sleep?
In fact, there are 336 hours total in 2 weeks, meaning Young was not being paid for only 33 hours over that period.
That mean that man making money when he's sleeping. That man is making money when he awake, when he's sleeping, and they are running up the check.
Other officers on the security detail are also racking up overtime paychecks in the multiple.
Hey, let me get my dog Pocket watching with JT on the phone real quick. Well, he probably at work right now because, you know, he's actually doing real work. Let me get Pocket watching on the line real quick. This is the stuff that we need to be solving for in our community.
Thousands of dollars.
Mayor, mind if I ask you a couple questions about your security detail?
Absolutely not.
I'm asking her.
Yeah, she says no.
A couple weeks ago, we tried to question Henyard about her detail as she went door to door in Dalton giving out water on a 100-degree day. Surrounded by police.
Are y'all still getting finessed by all of these bait and switch tactics, going door to door, giving out water on a 100-degree day? Are y'all seriously falling for this? Seriously?
Firefighters, public works employees, and 2 videographers documenting for Dalton's Facebook page.
I want to tell the people I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I hope they post what we actually do here in the village of Dalton and stop telling lies.
But when we gave her an opportunity to explain the OT,
Mayor, why do you need so many
Why don't you ask about water?
officers,
You guys, what you
details,
ask
or your
about water?
security?
What did you say, water? It sounded like you said water.
earlier that day, we watched as a Dalton cop drove Henyard from her other job at Thornton Township to a Mexican restaurant for lunch. Trustees say the security detail picks the mayor up at her home in the morning and is with her until she's dropped off at night.
This chick is the president of the United States. This is the president. Look at this simp in the chat. Look at this simp in the chat. Ain't nothing like a good black man that's going to come in and simp for somebody that's running up the check and basically doing the things that's not in the best interest of the people by using their tax dollars as their own personal piggy bank. This is crazy. This is crazy. Man, if you don't get your... Hold on. Let me see you. Let me put you on the front of the congregation. Man, if you don't get your simping ass on up out of the chat for that bull, man, get your ass up out of here. I can't stand y'all. This is why it's so easy for y'all to get finesse, man.
Often taking her on errands and shopping.
Does she need a security detail?
Absolutely not. Why? Why would you need a security detail?
Oh, she loves it. She just loves it. She loves the detail. I think it makes her feel as if she's like a superstar.
Dalton trustees have filed a lawsuit against Henyard, saying she's not justified the need for security and is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it without the board's approval.
I see no justification whatsoever, and more than that, it's really a detriment to the residents of Dalton.
How so?
The residents, if we would take the same money and put it on officers patrolling the streets, then the residents will see a much better presence and public safety would be better.
We've had a few shootings, so we need the extra police patrolling our streets instead of patrolling her.
And we found Dalton credit card statements showing that...
Hold on, y'all missed something. Hold on 1 second.
And we found...
Where's her office at? On Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Hey, she got her poster. Her poster is on the front of the building, the public building that she holds office in, and it's on Martin Luther King Drive. Martin Luther the King would have been rolling in his grave right now of what we see happening and playing out across America. This is insanity. Martin Luther the King would have been rolling over in his grave, seeing this woman finesse y'all out of y'all bag over in the county and what's going on over there in Dalton. She got her poster on the building on Martin Luther King Drive, and she is documenting it for her Facebook page. Jesus Christ, somebody give me a break. This is insanity. Insanity. Let me see something. Dalton, Illinois. Village of Dalton. What is this? What is this chick's name? Tiffany Henyard. Wow, she's on the front of the yo. Oh, she got her signature. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, scan me. Wow, this is crazy. This is insane. I cannot believe that this is what we're dealing with right now. This is crazy. This chick is marketing herself. Maybe this is our new president. Contact.
You've reached the office of Village of Dalton, Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Please leave your name, your phone number, and the reason for your call, and someone will contact you as soon as possible.
Hi, my name is Anton Daniels. I'm from Detroit, right up the street. You know, we like to call the cities over there in Illinois our sister cities and our brother cities. I just like to say that we cousins. Actually, I'm a content creator, and I'd love to document the journey of what's going on with Tiffany. If you can give me a call back at 313- I'd love to either fly her out over here in Metro Detroit to do an interview. I'm a pretty decent sized content creator. Or I can come over there and interview you and possibly follow her. If it's okay with you guys, feel free to give me a call back. I'd love to come over and document what's going on over there. I love what you guys are doing. Thank you. I appreciate you. Looking forward to getting your call back as soon as possible. See you guys later. We got to get the move. We need to understand what's going on over here in the city of Dalton, in the village. I'm sorry, I disrespected it. It's not the city of Dalton. It's the village of Dalton.
Found Dalton credit card statements showing that Henyard takes the detail with her even when she travels out of town, spending thousands of dollars on plane tickets, lodging, and meals for the officers.
Hold on, wait. Were they visiting?
On plane tickets, lodging, and meals for the officers. Mayor, why are you taking all the officers out of town with you? Isn't that a waste of taxpayers' money?
Let's go to this one right here.
Anything you want to say to defend yourself on this? As for the village's finances, trustees say Dalton is now getting sued by some vendors for failure to pay its bills.
In the last 2 fiscal years, we're $5 million in the hole.
We don't care nothing about no budget. We running this checkup. We don't care nothing about no budget. We running this checkup. We don't care if y'all $5 million over budget in the hole and all of y'all businesses is failing and y'all ain't got no police presence and crime is going up. Listen, the more important thing is we got to get them likes up on Instagram.
And a big part of it is the security detail.
It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. You don't see the governor with a detail as hers.
That lawsuit over the mayor's detail has not yet been settled. On Monday, we emailed a list of detailed questions to Henyard's spokesman, but never received a response.
Shout out to Tiffany Henyard. Hopefully I can get a call back from you guys. I'm looking forward to having a conversation. And thank you for taking over and getting your reparations over from the city. Oh my God. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to get over into the next part of the show. Time Out says, so I guess they will be expediting citizenship or permanent resident status for all of the people that came here legally. Probably not. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, my friend. You continuing to rock that out. Tribal Roots, my guy. You automatically get the applause. Said I got a gift on the way to the P.O. Box. Be on the lookout. Tribal Roots Wellness, Daryl Mack. Shout out to Daryl Mack and Tribal Roots Wellness. I'm going to be looking for that as soon as I get back to the crib. I appreciate you, my friend. Larry Summers is in the building, says, with bank auto loan rejection going from 8.7% 4 months ago to 13% 2 months ago. Now, as of last week, 27% auto loan rejection. Like, how will they afford what the UAW asking for what they were asking for? Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you. Dr. Reese says, I live and work 5 minutes from the border, and I definitely see it. Move immediately. Move further inland. J. Ben, my dog. Shout out to my dog out there in Arizona. Says, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a Super May. Tony Williams, my God, make sure y'all come and kick it with me and Tony Williams on Wednesday night. Me, Tony Williams, and Freezy. Says, great show per usual. Watching on the plane to Mexico. Thought I'd have to watch the replay. Cook up, Scony. Shout out to my dog, Tony Williams, in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. Let me give him the round of applause. Life of Scony. Go and check out his YouTube channel. It's absolutely awesome. Debt Free Dad said, what in the tubie is going on here? I don't know. Time out, give her grace. That's postpartum. David Simpson Jr. says, she pulled that Anton. I'm going to need that bag. Listen, she went and got that bag. Young Boy 24 says they call her Nina Brown. That's what I'm going to call her if I get an opportunity to kick it with her. Executive Suite MLE says this is bigger than Nino Brown. It's Big Bidney. Shout out to you. DJ Kane in the building says, morning, everyone. Have a good one. Shout out to DJ Kane. Appreciate you, big dog. Love C says, guarantee she's from Chicago. It's only 30 minutes away. Thank you, C. David Simpson Jr. says, when diversity, equity, and inclusion goes wrong. Shout out to you. Juan Hart is in the building. Juan says, this is a Boondocks episode. I ain't never seen no junk like this happen in real life. Enforcer 2K9 says, but guess what? They still gonna say we not in charge of the system. She about to become an Instagram model too. Brittany B says, if Protect Black Women was a person, tell me about it. Jay Ben says, almost Mike Jones. Mike Jones! I sure did. I recovered. I caught it. I would have had to change my number again. Mr. Hallel says, what she doing is wicked and not of the Most High. She is a fraud, and we need Tony to close her, JT, and Eli on this before Umar catches wind of this. Listen, just tell him that Anton broke it first. Bag for Bag is in the building. Says, Anton, she got a job open for a CDL driver. I'm going to apply and get 186 hours of overtime. Make sure you get your check every week. CB says, Time Dog. Haven't been on Fight Club because I've been getting to the bag. However, I find time to tune into the Millionaire Morning Show a few times a week. Quick question. No more Alpha Juice Company. Should I still support them? No. Do not support them because Anton is no longer a sponsor. They got very, very big literally after the month that we started promoting them and making sure that we ran it up. And then they were in the process of selling the company. And so they paid me my money. That's all that matters. But no, we no longer own an Alpha Juice Company. You can go ahead and cancel that, big dog. Anybody that's not sponsoring the Millionaire Morning Show, we not rocking with them. So make sure that you get the likes up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move over into Candace Owens. So Candace Owens obviously recently went on the Whatever podcast, right? And we had yet to actually get her insight and her perspective about her experience on the Whatever podcast. Shout out to Ash. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. We'd had yet to get her perspective on it. And so people have been doing reaction videos of it, and they've been giving their insight and their perspective about it. And so I think that it's important for us to actually get what she thought about the whole situation, because I think that she absolutely destroyed everything that's over there. So before we get over to Disney, because we got to go get over to Disney and get to the money too, we got to make sure that we get this insight from Candace Owens. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let's get it rocking.
I'm assuming that my listeners probably don't watch the Whatever podcast. And of everything that was laid out before me on this press tour, I have to be honest, I really did not understand why I was booked on this show. I had not seen it before, and my understanding was that this host, Brian, allows a bunch of sex workers to sit in a circle, and he sometimes has a conservative on to talk about their jobs. So it didn't seem like the right fit for me to be sitting across from these ladies.
Let me just say this before we get into this, all right? I think that Candace Owens look good. I think that she's a A very nice looking chick. Now I got to be respectful because she's a respectable person, and so we don't look at her the same way as we look at everybody else. But the natural look, whatever, and I know that she's pregnant, so she's gonna be putting on weight and all of that type of stuff or whatever. But in a general sense, I think that Candace Owens is a really, really nice looking black woman, personally. Just personally, that's just my own opinion. I understand that y'all got a whole nother set of criteria. Y'all want the chicks with the lip injections, the butterfly eyelashes, with the craziness, they hair flowing all the way down to their ankles, all of that stuff. I like the way that Candace Owens look. I like the natural look. I like none of the Botox and in your hair or whatever. I actually think that she looks really, really nice. That's just personally me. I think she looks like a regular everyday woman.
As they talked about their OnlyFans careers or talked about the various sex work that they do as, proud prostitutes. I remember dreading this. I was talking to the PR person. I'm like, why do I have to do this? This makes entirely no sense to me. And boy, am I glad that I sat down on that podcast.
I was wondering how Candace Owens had wound up going on to whatever podcast too, but it shows you that she got a really good team around her because she's able. You don't want to just tap into the audience of people that already know you because they're already familiar with you. You want to start to get visibility in the eyes of platforms that people are not that familiar with you. And so her showing up on that, it confused me at first, but then it started to make sense. So shout out to her PR team.
Boy, am I glad that I was booked to do this show because it turns out that you actually can learn a lot from hoes. So let me just set this up for you before I show you a few clips from the show. Essentially, I was invited to sit down. Every girl across the table said what they did for a living. One girl was a singer, and she leaned conservatively. But everyone else, there was one girl who was on OnlyFans, but she only takes her top off. There was another person who was on OnlyFans. There was two women that were prostitutes and said, essentially, that they help to save marriages. Yep, you heard me correctly. Because of them and the work that they do as prostitutes and as sex therapists, they sleep with your man so that your marriage can be saved. Now, of these two proud prostitutes, one of them was just 22 years old.
Y'all keep saying, I remember on Monday's show that Logic said that we need to legalize prostitution. What is OF? Oh, I forgot that y'all can't actually touch them. But OF is basically, let me just hear the rest of this.
And I'm going to show you guys a clip of her talking about how men that date her are actually insecure. Take a listen.
I've had no issues being a legal prostitute just because I haven't been dating anybody within this time for that year. Mm-hmm. As for everything else, it's hard dating. I've ran into a lot of...
She don't look like a 22-year-old to me. She looked like she looked like she had a hard 31. Y'all don't understand that. Living this life and being in the streets, that junk wear on you hard.
Insecure men, typically those are the ones that can't handle me doing what I do for work. And...
just a point of clarification. So you've run into a lot of insecure men, and are they insecure because they don't want to date you because you are currently active as a prostitute?
No, I'm saying I've never dated a guy while I was working at the brothels, at the Bunny Ranch or the Mustang Ranch. But I've been dating guys like between me doing camming and dancing. So that's what I'm talking about.
But you mentioned insecure men. What specifically are they doing that makes them insecure? Is it because they're insecure about your work?
Yes, like I've had exes in the past that would cry about me going to work to dance at the strip club. Okay. I've had guys try to control like what I wear and say that I can't work at strip clubs or do OnlyFans or whatever.
Couple different things here. You can't sit here and say that somebody is insecure about the fact that you do prostitution. That's crazy. That's not being insecure. That is knowing that you're about to go out here and put your cat on somebody else's hat, the cat in the hat. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, who are these suckers that's trying to turn these hoes into housewives? Why are you getting with a chick that's for the streets and then you trying to have a conversation with her about what it is that she's supposed to be doing with her cat when you already understood who she was when you met her? Who are these people? Hoppo, who are these people? I have no idea what y'all talking about. What is wrong with y'all?
Oh, sorry, was there more?
No, and that's...
Okay. Is it because they're insecure, or is that just them having boundaries and standards?
I feel like that's... I mean, you knew what I was doing before you met me.
That's true.
Right? So all of them knew exactly what I was doing before they met me, which brings it to, yeah, if you have a problem with what I do before you meet me, maybe don't get involved with me.
Sure.
I'm very open. I'm a very honest person. You knew what I was doing before you met me. If you don't like it, there's the door.
So here's the first thing that I want to say. I thought that sitting across from these young women, it was going to make me angry. But what I actually felt was a tremendous sadness for that young woman that you're listening to, because I have a daughter. And the concept of a 22-year-old young girl sleeping with up to 10 men per night, which is something that she mentioned earlier in the show, 5 to 10 clients that she will see in one day, actually saddens me. It breaks my heart. And
That's crazy. Sleeping with 5 to 10 different dudes in one day? Yo, come on, man. Let's put this in perspective, man. Sleeping with 5 to 10 different dudes in one day is insane. Because it ain't no way that you take it. First of all, you not taking 5 to 10 different showers. You telling me you taking a different shower every single time that somebody sleep with you? I'm not going for it, fam. That's insane. That's insane. I don't even know how y'all showing up to the Bunny Ranch or wherever it is that y'all can get this legally in the United States of America. I don't know how y'all picking these chicks up off the track. That's crazy, man. 5 to 10 dudes a day? Can you imagine what her body count is? And then when you put the exponential multipliers on it, now what's the exponential multipliers for the body count? The exponential multipliers for the body count is how many different people that they slept with, right? Meaning that whatever it is that spirit, because I know y'all don't believe in spirits, but spirits are real. Whatever spirit that you drew from these other people that you slept with, and then they slept with you, and then y'all all combining y'all powers like Voltron, what do y'all think her body count gonna be by the time that she get 30? She 22. By the time she get 30, her body count gonna be crazy. That box gotta be wore out. Ain't no insides, ain't no outsides. The insides is outside and the outside is inside now. That box gotta be crazy. Sleeping with 5 to 10 dudes a day? A day? And y'all having relationships with these women? Fuck, we in a whole new era, man.
And to listen to her justify why her relationships are not working out and to place it onto insecure men, as she describes them, and not her line of work, not actually what might be men caring about her, men wanting her to get out of this lifestyle. Does she have a point that, well, they already knew I was doing this? Yeah, okay, sure, you're right. They probably shouldn't have been drawn to you in the first place. But the point is that once they try to get you away from this lifestyle, it's not an indicator of insecure men. It's actually could be an indicator that people think that you're better than the career that you have.
Nope, you are exactly in the career that you need to be in. I understand Candace leaning into her femininity and saying that she feels sorry for him, but I don't. I just think that hoes has been in existence since the beginning of time, and it's never going to be any different as a result of what it is that we're professing for them. You can want the best for somebody, but once you let that cat out of the bag, you can't untuck what it is that you took out and you let somebody bust you down. That's why we had these conversations a lot of times about these reformed virgins, right? I don't care if you gave your life over to God. Your body didn't change. Your body count didn't change. And how many people is inside of you didn't change. And the diseases that you got didn't change. You didn't get that miracle heal, right? You didn't dump yourself into the baptismal water and then undo all of the stuff that was inside of you. All of those particles and all of the juices and all of the stuff that's in, oh no. Listen, Jesus can save you, but he can't heal you from the thing that you then was a part of as a result of it. And y'all dudes trying to change these chicks into housewives is crazy. It's crazy out here in these streets.
Her justification is that she's making money. Later on, she says that she's going to get out of sex work and then she'll be fine and she's just going to get married happily ever after. When I explained to them why it was that none of them were in relationships, barring the one 31-year-old on the far right that was sitting there and who is, I think she was 32 or 31 and is currently not married, that of course, when men learn and you are older and in your 30s or in your 40s that you used to be a prostitute, it is going to narrow your prospects, not because men are insecure, but because men have standards, right?
Why should a man, let me ask y'all a question. Why should a man marry a woman that has thousands upon thousands of clients that had bust her down? Why would a man make her the mother of his kids? Do it even work like that? Do your insides still work to where you can still have kids after you've been with thousands of men? And then you put the exponential multipliers on top of it? It's like the bonus miles. Y'all ever had a credit card where if you spend so much at a hotel with the Marriott Bonvoy card, then you get bonus miles as a result, or you get the bonus points because you spent it at a hotel, right? You get the Apple card, or you get the Sapphire Reserve, or you get the American Express Platinum, and you get bonus miles as a result of the amount of money that you spend with those particular airlines or whatever it is that you're buying, right? You're getting bonus miles as a result of it when you get the multipliers. Why would a guy, do y'all think that everybody is worthy of marriage? I don't. I just don't. I don't believe that everybody is worthy of marriage in the slightest. I don't believe it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe that we should even be having a conversation as a result of it. Everybody is not worthy of marriage. Shout out to y'all. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. Everybody does not deserve to be in a marriage. No. Some people just deserve to be in whatever space that they've been in for the rest of their life. That's what I believe. That's what I'm standing on. That's what I'm rocking with. Everybody deserves to be in whatever space that they created for themselves for the rest of their life. Everybody don't deserve to be in a marriage. I'm not going for it.
And men should have standards, which brought us forth to the topic of what is being dubbed hoflation. A friend of mine, Paul Joseph Watson, has a YouTube channel, and he spoke about this concept of hoflation, ho plus inflation, where when your grandparents, or rather your grandfather was growing up, he had to do less work to find him a high quality woman, a woman that wanted to stay in the home, a woman that dressed conservatively, a woman that wanted to raise the children, a woman who did not want to be out sleeping with tons of men or putting her naked body on the, of course, then non-existent internet, right? Wanting people to see her naked. Now he's saying men have to work harder to find those same women. So they call this concept hoflation. And you are seeing it in this environment as you speak to these women and they talk about how the money that they get is a justification.
Hoflation is wild. If you want regular people to understand inflation and how it applies to money, all you got to do is swap out money for hoes, and then they're going to start listening intently. I bet y'all got that concept of what hoflation is. Yeah.
For this lifestyle, and they speak down about men. They have this fundamental hatred of men, or rather a lack of understanding of what a quality man even is and where to find him. I'm going to show you another clip from this conversation where that same young woman, who I honestly felt like, and I never say this, that she was possessed by a demon. She really was. And she was growing frustrated in me remaining logical and explaining to her that obviously her career was going to follow her for the rest of her life. And she tried to, I guess, trigger me as she was explaining how she saves marriages. And she tried to trigger me.
Oh, that's that chick that looked like Land of the Walking Dead. It's that chick with them big lips, and she was saying that she saved relationships by going to sleep with the men at the. I believe that we are dealing with a demonic power. I know I keep saying it. I know y'all keep acting like y'all don't hear it. Y'all keep talking about y'all don't believe. But there's no other explanation. And we've actually seen this exact same thing play out in the Bible multiple different times before the Lord came down and dealt with it. Now, how long is he going to continue to deal with it? I know he made a covenant with man that he would never flood the earth again, and that's the symbol of the rainbow. But now we've taken the rainbow and we've perverted it to mean something completely different than what God intended for it to be between the covenant between him and man, that he wouldn't flood the earth again. He still said that he wasn't going to do it, so we believe that that's going to happen, right? But how much longer do we deal with this before fire and brimstone or something has to come in order for us to really wash this earth over before we just completely destroy everybody and we make it uninhabitable by our bad habits, bad logic, unethical standards, no character, don't even want to do the thing that's right for us before we die? I honestly believe that this is spiritual. When you see people that look abnormal and they justify their behavior and they don't even understand why they're doing what they're doing or what the perspective is going forward, it makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. But let me go ahead and let her say what she got to say.
By creating a what-if scenario regarding my own husband. Take a listen to her, and I do want to go ahead and put a trigger warning on because you may have some kids in the background. This is not something for children to hear. She's really about to jump into her brothel mindset, I would say. Take a listen.
A lot of the perversion that comes, if you are not going to be acceptant with your partner, if he comes to you and is like, hey, I really like getting pegged, I want you to peg me, and you're like,
if you look at the woman all the way over to the left, the one in the blue versus the one in the orange, this literally just came over me, and it made me sick to my stomach while looking at it. The one in the orange, her hair is exactly the same as the one in the blue. They almost can be mother and daughter. Now, the one in the blue, I don't even think that she's old enough to really be the mother of the one in the orange. Here's the other caveat. I think that the one in the orange is going to be the one in the blue 10 years from now. 10 years from now, they got the same eyelashes, they got the same hairstyle, they got the same disposition, they got the same mindset. The one in the orange is literally going to be the one in the blue all the way to the left 10 years from now. She's looking at her future, and the one in the future is looking at her past, and she's looking at the past like a proud mother. Like a proud mother. They look the exact same. They look like they can be mother and daughter, and you're looking at the past is looking at the future, and the future is looking at the past. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Ew, that's so disgusting. Like, I would never do that. You want me to eat your I would never do that. Well then, okay, what are you gonna do? Divorce him? Or what are you gonna do? Realistically, I'm asking you hold on, I want to know. What are you gonna do? That's your husband. He's like, hey babe.
I think one of the things about marriage that's really beautiful is I know what my husband, before we got married, I think I know who he is.
But things change, and maybe he wants to start exploring.
He wants to start doing what?
He wants to start exploring, and he's like, oh my gosh, maybe I do want you to like eat my ass, and I kind of want you to peg me. Like I kind of want anal penetration from you because you're my wife and you're so beautiful and hot, and we're married and we have kids together, and I'm feeling a little bit kinky, and I with you, since we have this special marriage and bond.
The first thing that you got to ask yourself is, what have you been watching, and are you addicted to corn? What are you watching, and who have you been talking to, and who have you been around, and why do you have this such? What have you been exposed to that's now giving you all of these ideas to force you to start exploring differently? You're dealing with an entirely different person. You're dealing with an entirely different person that may have an addiction or a strange fetish that they're executing on the side when they're not around you. That's a fact, though.
How would you feel if we could just try this out just this one time, babe, please?
I think it would probably indicate to me that my husband was involved in some perverse world, whether it was through pornography, that something else was happening on the side, because these aren't normal things that people...
Yep, I told you, I called it. You got to start looking at the context clues. It's something else there, or it's something else that you're exposed to that's then putting you in this position to start to think about this in the first place.
People just think of when they wake up.
So
like,
what's your next
I'd
move?
really like a strap-on dildo.
Okay, right.
Well,
so what's your next move?
What's the ultimatum? He's going to divorce me if I don't peg him?
So what's your next move?
Crazy. I would think that individual would probably need therapy, and not the kind that you give. Yeah, when I was saying not the kind that you give, I was pointing to a woman that was in her 40s who said that she's a sex therapist and she sleeps with other women's husbands, and it actually helps their marriages. Yeah, so what was weird about that is suddenly it seemed like she was suffering from a demonic possession, like she was just a Chucky doll, and she was just trying to say the most perverse thing that she could possibly say to trigger me. I didn't feel triggered by it. I felt disturbed that a 22-year-old was even coming up with this concept, and I realized that her entire reality had been warped, because she works in a brothel and she sees up to 10 clients per day. And you have to imagine that she thinks that this must represent what all men are like. It never occurred to her that actually she is seeing the most debased, pathetic men that are in this society today, right? She is seeing men that have drug addiction. She is seeing men that have sex addiction. She is seeing men that have gone so far into their perversion.
And she has no clue the type of guys that's entering inside of her. The only thing that she's doing is she's presenting herself as an opening and as a dumpster as a result of it. And every single day, somebody comes in there, or multiple different people come in there, and they dump off inside of her all of the different spirits, and then they release themselves, and then they go on and they go back to their business and they do whatever it is that they got to do. And all they got to do is give her a couple dollars. It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. And then she got to give a percentage of that over into taxes and over into whatever the brothel is that she works for. And it's insane. It's insane. A lot of people have a conversation with me and they say, Anton, what if they just legalize that? And what if they legalize this? And what if they legalize that? And what if they legalize this? And my question then always comes back to, A, it's never going to be successful, or it's never going to solve for the problems that you think it's going to solve for. It's just going to make things exponentially worse. Like how they legalize weed and they legalize trees in the United States of America. Now they sitting here and all these tree stocks is going out of business, and it's just disrupted the industry. And meanwhile, it's not adding any more dollars into the coffers. It's not solving for any legislative problems. The money is not going anywhere as far as helping the people. It's not creating a better environment for the people. Wherever it is that they open these things, the people don't want them open in their neighborhoods. And then we also sacrifice our moral compass and we continue to deep dive even further into the rabbit hole of the things that we're not supposed to do. And then we normalize it as though it's something that we should be adopting in the first place. And it's not going to solve your problems. Listen, you legalizing it is not going to fix anything financially, fiscally. It's not going to add any more money over into the coffers of your city and state. Your taxes is not going to go down as a result of it. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to invite more demonic spirits, and you're going to make sure that it's normalized, and then our sense of reality is going to be warped as a result of it.
That they might actually be requesting this from her. It is not the average man that goes into a brothel. It is not the average happily married man that has these perverse thoughts. And yet she thinks that it's the norm. Her and this other sex worker think that it's the norm, and that therefore they are helping to save marriages because, well, it must be all men that want this. This is where society is going today, and this is why I spend so much time talking about perversity, talking about pornography.
We should have over 1,000 likes in here. We got over 1,900 people in here and counting, and we should have at least over 1,000 likes. I don't want to go to the teach.
Talking about the ills, not just of graphic pornography, which her mind is utterly polluted by because it's a form of her every single day. It's a facet of her every single day, but also the soft pornography that we have all become accustomed to. The pornography that we see when we scroll Instagram, and you have Instagram models with their butt cheeks and their chests out. This is the stuff that is desensitizing us, right? It is desensitizing all of us. We're all victims to it. I say this all the time. When I see an ad, I don't even flinch when I see a woman holding a purse and she's half naked, because we have become accustomed to seeing it everywhere. And where is it leading to? Where it is leading to women that are quite literally prostituting themselves on the internet because they know that they can make a quick buck. And you can do that. It's true. I think later on in the show, after I left, one of them mentioned that they make $500,000 per year. It's going to come at a cost, obviously. If you want to make $500,000 and in your early 20s or in your late 20s, and then you're going to realize that nobody wants to marry you, nobody wants to have children with you, nobody respects you.
I wouldn't even spit on you. Let's just summarize it like that. I wouldn't even spit on you. I don't even want you around my daughter. I don't want you around my people. I don't want you around my family. I pity you. I think you should be removed. Well, let me be quiet. Let me stop because I'm about to go in. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to move over into the money real quick and get y'all up out of here for this Thursday. Ash says, shout out to my dog Ash. I appreciate you. Says, Black Girl Magic, welcome to Black Culture. Is it Gynarchy? Gynarchy? I don't know. Y'all got to stop sending me these big words. Shout out to my dog Ash. I appreciate you. Spaces is in the building. Says, boarded up buildings everywhere in Dalton. Shaking my head. Shout out to Spaces. I appreciate you, big dog. Slan sells cars. Says, Candace is gorgeous. I agree. I got to give you the big dog horn for that one. Cliff Williams says that girl is public transportation, and you can get a ride to anywhere you want, including straight to the clinic after you get done with her. My dog Tony Williams is in the building with the big dog drop. Can Freezy get a true and accurate number on a chick like this? So why even ask? She don't even know. She don't even know, bro. It's crazy out here in these streets. David Payne says HPV, genital warts, can lead to cervical cancer. She more than likely has it already and should hope she'll never get it. I don't know how you don't get it, because you can get all of this stuff just from contact, and it don't even have to be through penetration. A lot of people are not even familiar with that. Omar says, hey, Anton, could you be on the lookout for an email regarding a follow-up coaching call, please? I sent it a few days after our first one. Absolutely, I got you, Omar. Thank you, my friend, for sending me that email. David Simpson Jr. says, Candace Owens is a woman who blends in public physically but has a personality presence to stand out in person. Your thoughts on? I think that the thing about it is that, and thank you for the super chat, for women that have inherent value, they don't have to try. They don't have to try. They don't have to work really hard about it. They don't have to try to stand out. Their intelligence speaks. Their aura speaks. Their energy speaks. When they open their mouth, everybody starts to get captivated by what they say. And so as a result of it, they don't have to dress like promiscuous and they don't have to take their clothes out. They're naturally going to stand out in a room full of people, right? And they're going to just be inspiring, or they're going to have something about them that attracts you to them. And it's not going to be as a result of them not having their clothes off. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women don't understand that, and they don't understand how to move in a room full of people without having to necessarily make yourself overly available as far as showcasing your assets that everybody shouldn't have access to. But then at the same time, you make yourself relevant in the minds of the people just because of your femininity and your aura. So I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Shout out to David Simpson Jr. I'm gonna continue to read these super chats throughout the show, but we gotta tackle one more thing, and that's the money, bro. You know we got to get over to the money. We tackle everything with related to the money to make sure it comes back to the money, but we got to make sure that we tackle the money. Now, I'm not a fan of Disney at all. I'm not an investor in Disney. I do not have a position in the company because I think that it's being ran into the ground. I think that they took on too much debt when they bought Fox, and now they're trying to make a series of moves that I believe is not in the best interest of investors, and they're going to have a very difficult time pivoting at a time where nobody has the amount of money to be able to take these assets off of their hands, and they're not willing to take on a debt as a result of it. But let's deep dive into Disney because I just recently came across this. I actually came across it a few days ago in an investor's call, but Disney is looking to invest over $60 billion into their theme parks business. Let me say that one more time. $60 billion into their theme parks business. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit a like for the Facebook and the YouTube algorithm. Also, on top of that, make sure that you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description. I'm going to be doing an Investing in Your Business series where I'm giving out money in order for people to start up their businesses or vet out the idea behind starting up their business with no attachment, so you're not going to have any investment in me, or I'm not going to have any equity in your company. Then I'm doing a meetup over in DC, and then I'm going on tour next year. I've already made up my mind that I'm doing it. But make sure y'all hit a like. Let's get into it, and let's deep dive into it.
Hi there, Waltoneers. I'm Jack, and this is DSY Newscast with a breaking news video. As you see today, senior Disney executives held a conference with Wall Street analysts and investors at Walt Disney World, where the main topic of discussion was to prioritize and focus in on the future of the Disney Parks and Resorts division. Now, in all honesty, I'm not going to bury the lead here, as the main headline coming out of all of this is that Disney has announced via an SEC filing, and through a press release on their corporate company website, that they are planning on nearly doubling capital expenditure investments into the Disney Parks and Resorts division worldwide over the next 10 years. Which means that they're planning on spending approximately $60 billion over the next decade.
Somebody said, what's wrong with theme parks? Nothing is wrong with theme parks. If you like going to theme parks, but everything is wrong with theme parks if you're looking at it as a company that's allocating their capital wrong, in my opinion. All right, so let's look at it from a logical perspective, right? And I want to put on my C student's hat because I want to break it down from a perspective in which you can truly understand, or at least understand it from my view, so that you guys can get a different perspective on how it is that you need to be allocating your resources. Let's say, for example, you wanted to invest in Disney. Now, Disney has multiple different divisions. They have Star Wars, they have the movies division, right? They also have their online streaming, which they rush to pour money into. That is not making any money from them. They also have divisions dedicated to content creation, right? Which means that they got the ESPNs, recently fired a bunch of people over at ESPN, reallocated their resources, brought in Pat McAfee, and then also brought in Shannon Sharp to be a part of First Take 2 days of the week, and then Club Shay Shay is doing its own thing, right? Disney has multiple different divisions. A part of those divisions is the theme parks. So you got Disney World, Disneyland. Those are over in Orlando and California, respectively. I recently visited the Disneyland/Disney World over in Tokyo. So last month I was over in Tokyo and I had an opportunity to go there. It's a completely different culture. They celebrate Winnie the Pooh above any of the Marvel characters, right? They celebrate Cinderella and all of that type of stuff, Snow White, way more than they're celebrating Iron Man, right? They're not really checking for Star Wars. They want to see the Star world around Star Wars, right? So the cultures are completely different. And being able to travel to different countries, you get to see the differences in the culture. Now, from an investor's perspective, we just seen the pandemic, right? We just seen the pandemic. And the pandemic should have been a wake-up call to people that want to invest in certain different companies. Give me an example. What is the first thing that people start to cancel when everything goes bad, whether it be from a financial perspective or a disaster perspective as far as war, pandemic, recession, anything? What is the first thing that people start to cancel? Or what is the first thing that shut down? And when you've seen it happen during the pandemic, what did we see play out over at Disney? Theme parks shut down. People cancel airline tickets. The hotel industry suffers. Leisure industry suffers. And then anything as it relates to tourism is going to suffer. On top of that, right, we know that Disney is holding an extraordinary amount of debt as a result of purchasing Fox's assets, in which they had to divest from FS1 because they didn't want them to have a monopoly when it came to ESPN and FS1, so they had to sell that. But they went on and they took on a ton of debt because they were competing against Comcast in order to buy the assets in order to start creating the digital content and the streaming service, in which they still can't compete with Netflix. People have been canceling Disney. They also went too woke. People have been walking away from it. I canceled my Disney Plus subscription. And so all of the accelerated growth that they had as far as growing a platform didn't translate into profits. And then on top of that, they still holding on to an exponential amount of debt. And then they're allocating resources over into the theme parks, which is profitable, but it's the first thing that people cut off when they start to have problems within their own households or in the economy or any kind of thing that they have to start making adjustments to. They cancel out all leisure activity. They stay home. They go and do stuff local. They become a tourist in their own city. Or they just go ahead and they just start to dig deep. If somebody don't have a place to live, they sure as hell ain't got money to go over to Disney. Now, you combine that with the idea that the theme parks are crazy expensive to go to now, right? You have to wait in these long lines. You have to spend a week there. You also got to get a hotel. You got to get plane tickets. Most of the time, you want to take your kids to it too. And so when you start to take all of that stuff into consideration, and I visited Disney World / Disneyland in Florida this year, and I went to the one over in Tokyo, right? And I know they got one over in Shanghai. When you start to think about all of these things, what is the return on investment when you're spending $60 billion? And how long is it going to take them to recoup that, on top of the fact that they have an extraordinary amount of debt sitting that they have to pay for? And that's one of the reasons that they're starting to institute company-wide layoffs across the board. They're also having problems with the cable companies. People are cutting the cord even more, and so now they're going to have to differentiate themselves as far as competition with the different streaming companies in order to try to incentivize people to buy the ESPN Plus package, buy the Disney Plus package. They don't even know how to segment out what it is that they're doing from a streaming package perspective to make it attractive or a bundle for people to want to purchase. So now they just say, okay, go and get Hulu, but you can still get Disney Plus streaming separately. So then allocating $60 billion over into continuing to develop theme parks, thinking that people are going to continue to support the theme parks and all of the costs that's associated, which that's going to be passed on to the consumer, and it already costs too much money. They're going to have to A, sell something, B, lower their debt, and then C, figure out where they can put their capital investment in order to stay competitive going forward. And I don't think that theme parks is the way to do it. Certainly not at a $60 billion cap rate.
Which does sound very exciting and very promising. But let's dive a little bit beyond that headline and get into this in greater depth. As you see, when you hear $60 billion in the headline, it sounds like an absolute ginormous amount of money. But if you're to break that up evenly over the course of that 10-year period, it means that Disney is looking to invest on average around $6 billion into the Disney Parks and Resorts division if it was to be split up evenly over those years. However, that sum of money isn't just for the domestic Disney parks, but this has to also account for all of the capital expenditure investment for the 3 other theme park resorts around the world that Disney own, along with the Disney Cruise Line as well, which is currently constructing 2 more multi-billion-dollar cruise ships.
So let's pivot for a second, right? I want to share something else with you guys because Disney is also looking to offload some of their assets in order to continue to raise money and then lower their debt obligation.
Let's turn to Disney, which is in talks apparently with several bidders to sell its ABC network.
So one of the things that we've seen has happened over the last few years is that there's been a race to the bottom in order to try to compete in the streaming wars for them to own the assets and to own the catalogs. Now, I think that Disney did themselves a huge disservice by forcing themselves and trying to run into the streaming wars to compete with the likes of Netflix and Comcast and Amazon. And Amazon is largely being shared, all of their profits is coming basically from Amazon Web Services and all of their other divisions. So, they got that backing to continue to keep them afloat. They're not necessarily trying to make money as a result of it. Apple is the same way, right? Apple generates the overwhelming majority of their profits, and their strongest growing division is in their services division, right? In their subscription services. You get Apple Arcade, you get this, you get that, and they bundle it together. And you also get Apple Fitness Plus, and you also get Apple TV, right? And so Netflix is always going to be the leader because they focus all of their energy on creating the best platform as far as streaming services, and they also allocated money. And they seen this happening a long time ago and say they started investing in themselves and then doing original programming. That's where you got Orange is the New Black. You got a lot of the great shows that was Emmy winning and award winning and all of that, right? And so Netflix is incredibly profitable. And let me just be very fair. I am invested in Netflix. I have been for a long time, and it's been a great company. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial access. I'm just telling you where it is that I'm investing. Disney, on the other hand, raced into getting into this whole war by owning and also purchasing a lot of different content that they then reduced the licensing for. So when you used to see Endgame and all of these different movies, and you used to see it go over into different TV shows, and when you see BET put on all of these movies, right, and they look like they got Chinese words, they make money from that, right? When you license out your content, you don't have to put any resources into it, and all you're doing is continuing to make money from it for the entirety of the life of whatever platform continues to license it, right? When you used to see on Netflix all of the Marvel movies, and then you had Daredevil and all of this stuff, right? Disney was making an egregious amount of money while not having to develop a platform in order to stream for themselves. But what they did was they cut their feet from under them by removing the amount of money that they were making from licensing this content. And then they started to have it exclusively on their own streaming platforms, hoping that you guys signed up for it and that you could continue to make money from it. And so they were going to make money differently, right? The money was going to be reallocated differently than the licensing. It was going to start coming as a part of, hey, if you want to watch Marvel stuff, if you want to watch Captain Marvel, if you want to watch Iron Man, if you want to watch this, then you got to sign up for Disney Plus. Well, eventually people was like, nah, this is trash. We don't want it anymore. And you guys are going woke. And so the Disney Plus streaming platform, as far as my research is concerned, I could be wrong, but it's losing a lot of money. It's losing a lot of money. On top of the fact that they had to go into so much debt in order to purchase all of these assets that they wanted on these streaming platforms in the first place. And so now this is where you're seeing all of these layoffs. This is where you're seeing the majority of their money having to be dependent on the theme parks and stuff like that. And it's a bad situation all the way across the board. But one of the things that they realize is that we have too many assets and we're not making any money as a result of it. And we got all of this debt and we got to raise capital to stay afloat. So we're going to try to sell off some of our businesses and partner in order to continue to raise money so that we can have the capital investment to go forward in the future. This is why you're starting to see Disney have these announcements. And I warned you guys that they were going to start having these conversations about selling assets, including ABC. ABC is now on a shopping block, and they're trying to get it offloaded before it becomes even more devalued.
Something the CEO Bob Iger has hinted might happen as he tries to remake the company in the streaming era. The stock, Disney, down 23% this year and more than 50% below all-time high.
So, for the person that was in the chat that said Disney's is doing really good on the stocks, no, it's not. No, it's not. There's plenty of companies that are doing incredible this year. And Disney is not one of them. Disney is down over 23% and over 50% from its all-time high. Disney is getting killed right now. And so this is why I'll talk about in the Patreon is 8 things that you need to look for when you're looking to invest in a company, because your understanding of that company intimately is more than just what it is that you see on the surface or what their stock price is. How do you know what to value a company? How do you know how much debt they have? How do you know what their management strategy is? What is their long-term investment? Where are they going to be making their money in the future? How much is money going to cost them as far as holding on to debt long-term? All of these things are going to factor into the value and the price of what this company is really worth. And so you have to take that into consideration before you start to invest in these companies. But let's continue.
Hi, so let's bring in CNBC.com's Alex Sherman now with more on how this process could play out and who the possible buyers could be. Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. So I think we're early. We're very early in this process still. In fact, Disney released a public statement last night saying, look, we've made no decisions whatsoever here. But we're thinking about what we might do with our assets, which echoes what Disney CEO Bob Iger said to our own David Faber a couple months ago. Disney wants to transform its business to a more modern-looking company, and it realizes that the traditional pay TV bundle is declining, has been declining for years, and it's kind of finally it's come to Jesus moment here, where it's like, look, we may need to modify this company. We may need to sell off some of these assets that used to be crown jewels for us that aren't anymore.
What could be bundled along with ABC in any possible sale, and who might the buyer be or buyers?
So
I don't know. Maybe ESPN?
There have been preliminary discussions with Nexstar. Nexstar is an owner of many different local affiliate TV stations around the country, but it also owns some national assets. It owns the CW network, or the majority of it. It's starting its own sort of news network called News Nation. It owns The Hill. It owns other digital media assets. It makes a lot of sense.
And The Hill is trash, by the way.
That Nexstar would be interested in buying the 8 owned and operated local stations that Disney owns, which are in big markets, typically Chicago, New York, LA. Disney owns 8 of these things in addition to the ABC network. The interesting question is, does Nexstar also buy ABC? That would be really industry changing if one of these local TV network affiliate companies owned the network itself. That doesn't exist today, of course.
I think that Disney is still in trouble. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm not going to continue to invest in it. I think that you guys should continue to dollar cost average, and that your investment has to be automated, but make sure that you're very, very careful about where it is that you're allocating your resources. You don't just want to dollar cost average into anything that's going down. You want to dollar cost average and put all of your resources into things that you research the most. Make sure you guys get into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me acknowledge this one super chat really quickly, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here for this Thursday. Brock with the Pastor Love offering. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for holding me down. Listen, I think that you guys are the greatest audience on earth. I really do. You guys tune in, you tap in, we have fun, we laugh, we play, we learn, we debate. Tomorrow is Friday, which means that I'm going to be opening up the panel for you guys to be able to come up and say whatever it is that you disagree with me on. If you disagree with me about Disney, if you disagree with me about modern women, if you disagree with me about the woman that's over in Dalton County doing what she do over there, if you disagree with any of my takes that I've had over the past week or so, you are more than welcome. The UAW, union contracts, negotiating, the CEO pay gaps, Candace Owens looks, whatever. Kenneth Petty versus Offset, whatever you may disagree with me with, you have the opportunity to be able to come up. You don't even have to get on camera. You can just call in if you want to. You have the opportunity tomorrow to do so. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I think that you guys are the greatest audience on earth. Thank you for continuing to hold me down. I guess that's about it. Let's get up out of here. I hope I added some value into y'all day, and then I helped y'all day go by a little bit faster. Thank you for all of the super chats. Thank you for the cash apps. Thank you to everybody that contributes into the platform. Okay, Kayla, I got you. You said you emailed me? All right, Kayla. Let me see what's going on right here. All right, Kayla. I'm with you, baby girl. I'm going to check it out. If y'all got it, y'all want to do any business, you want sponsorships, you got suggestions for me of where it is that I should tour, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. antondaniels413@gmail.com. I only do business through email. I do not have any separate social media accounts outside of what you see in the description. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Also, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And get your Teej Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you. I appreciate you. But I need you guys to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, all right? Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. You have been amazing. 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 Share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be rich by ourselves. I love you guys. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.